Okay, it's 5:33. I'll call to order the Downtown Business Improvement District Board meeting.
There's public comment.
We have a sign-in list sheet going around with some public comment sheets as well. Everyone could fill out the sign-in sheet as well as indicate whether they would like to provide citizen comments. Miriam, could you call the roll, please?
Sure. Lawrence Freeman,
Present.
Jasper Mike,
Present.
Tomasis Aguirre, absent. Julian Rodnowski,
Here.
Hilda Torres,
Here.
Rene Gonzalez, Justin Keller.
Here.
We have one.
Thank you. All right, next up on our agenda is citizen comments. If anybody would like to address the bid, feel free now. I know Carol, you had indicated, Ms. Alexander, you had indicated
it
you wanted to provide
says,
some public comments.
It says it has to be connected to an agenda, but I haven't seen an agenda. I don't know that this is connected to an agenda item, but I just am hoping that, thank you, thank you all for holding this meeting for us. And I'm hoping that there could be a committee, a Business Improvement District committee that is connected to the parking committee. I'm hoping that there is a parking committee. And I actually brought the minutes from the parking committee that has already been created by the city. And if you give me about 30 minutes, I'll find them. Anyway, I will look through these so that we can, we can look at them, and maybe we could just, so the committee's already been created, I don't know how or what structure or where it lives, but I'm hoping that it comes back to life and I could attend the meeting.
Anyone else desire to provide citizen comments? Okay. Next up on our agenda is the approval of minutes of our prior meeting held on March 14th, 2024. They're in your packet if you have a chance to review them, and once you've done so, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
A motion to approve, do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. Next on our agenda is action item number 5A, discussion with possible action on the creation of a downtown hospitality entertainment subcommittee and the other matters incident thereto. Julian, would you like to?
Yes.
This item?
Yes, so I put this item together because I've been receiving a lot of public input, especially from the nightlife in downtown Laredo that doesn't really seem to have a voice, and I don't think any of us up here on the board has ever been a part of either hospitality or the entertainment industry. So the idea that I have behind this item is that's probably the only other industry that's active right now in the downtown, with the exception of trade, is basically hospitality and entertainment. So I think it's really important that we have a subcommittee composed of actual owners of these businesses that can help in the advisement of possible policies that the city is taking on that affect the downtown, and possible opportunities that the Business Improvement District should target that could help support this industry, because it has been growing. It seems to be stalling out recently, and I think it's really important that, as a board, we support all the industries that are in the downtown and help them flourish. So that is where this item came together for me.
Thank you. I'll make a motion for the creation of a downtown hospitality entertainment subcommittee.
If I may, I'm not too sure if maybe the subcommittee needs to be composed of board members from the Business Improvement District, or what the process for appointing committee members will be for this particular committee. From what I understand, it will be in an advisory capacity.
Yes.
If I may recommend, maybe come back with a process that we can adopt as the board, that you all can adopt to create this committee at the next board meeting.
I think, at least for now, we should move forward on creating the subcommittee based on a volunteer basis. And we can develop more rules and guidelines behind it. It is not a voting committee up here on the board, it's strictly advisory. I think the only rule for now that we should at least start with is that they either own or operate a business in the hospitality or entertainment. So that would be bar, restaurant, hotel, any of those industries.
Okay.
That's just I'd like to hear from the board.
All right, so first, let me make the motion and get a second, and then we can have some board discussion on it. So I'll make.
A second.
I'll revise my motion for the creation of a downtown hospitality and entertainment subcommittee, subject to providing rules and procedures for the appointment of that subcommittee consisting of either or members of the business improvement district as well as members of the public that are in the entertainment and hospitality industry. And we can, at a later time, revisit, at our next meeting, sort of a process and procedure for appointment of members to that committee.
I'll second it and request an amendment that says that we at least incorporate anyone that would like to be nominated currently, and then we can possibly appoint them at the next meeting.
And this appointment, Julian, like you said before, would it be property owners and or nightclub owners?
It would have to be if you are a property owner, you're a property owner that runs a nightclub. Or a
Correct,
property owner that
right.
runs, it's.
Right,
it's-
or the owner of the nightclub.
If you are a property owner that.
You're not a
doesn't run
property
the
owner,
night-
you're leasing, you are the owner.
Yes, then you would
Okay,
qualify.
Yeah.
As long as you're
okay.
the business operating in that, in
Leasing
these
or the
industries.
lessor?
I'm sorry?
Either the leasing or the lessor.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, as long as they operate the business. If it's the landlord, they have to operate that business. It can't just be a landlord that has a property that doesn't have a bar in it or a restaurant. It has to be both or strictly operating the business.
Okay.
Mr. Rivera?
Yeah, I just want to make a quick comment. If you could include in your motion, if you consider pending legal's recommendation that if you have the authority to do that, because the question is, most committees, they can create internal subcommittees, but I don't know if you can just appoint people from the community, because normally that's the city council's authority. And I don't know if the board, and I'm just saying it, that if for you all to make the committee and then legal comes back next meeting and says, you don't have that authority. So maybe pending the authority and then go about that process,
Yeah.
just to make
absolutely.
sure.
We'll, as amended, so pending, sort of, I'll discuss with legal and.
We'll confirm
See,
that
yeah.
by tomorrow.
Perfect.
I'll accept the amendment.
Okay, so it's been amended and seconded, so, any further discussion of the board, thoughts?
Do we discuss anyone that'd like to nominate themselves to be a part now, or is this something that'll?
I would suggest if we're gonna, pending legal discussion about external folks.
Okay.
If anybody on the board would like to be on it, I'm happy to, accept board nominations at present, if anybody wants to volunteer to be on that board. But let's wait until we do get, approval from legal.
Okay.
We'll make sure we get something in writing. That's all.
Thank you, sir, appreciate that. Any other discussion? Okay, it's being moved, amended, and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. Next up on the agenda is item 5B. I have it under an action item, just in the case that there's an action item. Discussion with possible action regarding the Downtown Summit scheduled for April 22nd through 24th, 2024, and the other matters incident thereto. This is the Downtown Summit that we've discussed a few times here, that the bid has supported. Again, I put it only as a possible action item in case someone had something. I don't have any action, particularly with respect to this, but I wanted to bring it to everyone's attention, and hopefully I can. Councilwoman Figueroa mentioned it this morning. at a breakfast. I'm gonna mention it here. I'm hoping we're all sort of singing from the same hymnal and preaching from the mountaintops about the summit. In my opinion, it's been a labor of love. We've put about a year's worth of work into trying to formulate something to really take advantage of what I see as some momentum downtown. From business owners, from property holders, from the city, from even the county. I heard some very encouraging words from one of the commissioners this morning at our breakfast about cooperation with the city, between the county and the city, and looking even to downtown. And so I think all of those things factor in our benefit, and we have some tailwinds we should take advantage of. So the most important part is on April 24th, it's going to be open to the public. It runs from 8 to 3:30, where there's going to be multiple panels discussing some of the things that have been going on downtown, things that have already occurred, things that are in process, and things that will occur in the future. We as a bid will be represented. We will actually bookend the event by holding the final session slot in the afternoon on the 24th, where we'll talk a little bit about the plan that we all discussed a few months ago, where we had some ideas about a service plan drawing from that. Obviously, any bid members are welcome to be present and presenting with us. You know, my hope is to have a sort of a PowerPoint slide or something we can throw up on the panel so that we can solicit feedback from the community about services that they want to see downtown. We've drawn from other communities that is very helpful. At the same time, you know, we need to hear from everyone that's in the community that has additional interest, thoughts. You know, there's no pride of authorship. This is going to be everyone's business improvement district, not our business improvement district. It's our collective business improvement district. And so I'm hoping that folks are there. You know, it does end by 3:30, so we're not going to keep you late into the afternoon. And hopefully people are going to be there and can give us some feedback and direction. Any thoughts, discussion items with respect to that?
I do think it's important that I want to say that we set a actual business improvement district meeting date to be that same day, just in case everyone's there and we end up being a walking forum.
Yes, we're working with Miriam. We're going to have those disclosures so that it's like very clear that we're not violating the Open Meetings Act by doing this. If there is a walking quorum, that we're okay.
Yeah, it was brought up in some of our meetings, both for the bid and the church, so we're gonna make sure that we post the required notices for a
Just a
possible
notice
quorum.
that potential, it's not a quorum because it's not a meeting, but a
Potential
potential quorum in place,
yes.
but something like that, like we do for Washington.
Yeah, we'll take care of that.
Do we want to possibly make it a meeting? So that includes this whole section built into it, so that if there's any action to be taken, it can be taken that day, or just for discussion on that. Just
Yeah, I'm trying
maybe
to
I'm
think.
talking out loud, but
No, it makes sense in a way.
But
I
how
don't
would
know
that
much-
work if there's other people at that particular meeting that are not necessarily?
I would say similar to how, maybe I'm misunderstanding, but workshops work with council members?
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
how I'm envisioning it.
Yeah, well, let's look at the workshop that we just did for the TERS and just see how that sort of agenda was set up, and then we can explore how we want to set up the 24th.
Right.
And, you know, sort of model that language. Is good enough for the TERS, good enough for us, right?
Yeah.
So,
And just to highlight something regarding this downtown summit, because I do see some of our owners here today, this is something you really want to go to, especially that second part that's going to be mainly ran by the business improvement district. A service plan is literally exactly what it sounds like. It's what the business improvement district can provide as a service: cleaning streets, additional security, the stringing up and taking down of lights, the maintenance of lights, to making sure that, you know, all along that corridor where all the bars are located, that there's always lighting, it's lit and safe. That's where you ask for it. That's where it gets notated. So it's very important that if it's not you, one of your representatives shows up to talk about those needs.
and one important thing I forgot to mention, while we're still looking for sponsors, the one important part is that there is no cost to the public to attend on the 24th. We do ask that folks register so we have an accurate head count. We plan on providing lunch to folks. It's going to be hosted at Laredo College. So we are going to have food there. So we ask that people register so we have a good head count, can make sure we have enough food there for folks. But again, there's no cost to the public to attend.
Right.
Okay, 6, any announcements from the board?
Just the summit, I guess. That's it. April
Preach
24th.
it, preach it, brother. All right, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
Second.
Okay. Well, it's been motioned and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Not to
And
adjourn, I'm sorry. So if this is a improvement district, business improvement district, that is like a management district that is for the property owners and the business owners to come together to figure out what kind of services are gonna be provided, right, or by the district,
Yes.
right? If we can't have committees, if there can't be committees, I know that's gonna be worked out tomorrow, but, so my comment at the beginning of this meeting was about the parking committee. If we can't have committees, then if this board can't have committees, working committees, how will the property owners, how will they be engaged in the process with the management district?
Yeah,
I
so
don't think it's a no altogether, though.
No, it's
as
most
far as
likely going to be
committee.
a complete yes.
And then, you know, even if there were an issue where, say yourself, we could form a parking committee, right? A subcommittee of this board. And you yourself are not appointed because we can't appoint citizens. We would then have a quorum and we could have a committee and have feedback. And that would be part of the goal, because part of the charge of the business improvement district is parking. You know, it's in the statute. So that is definitely something that is at the top of our radar. It's on our plan that we had talked about. Some of the items that our service plan would incorporate was parking, which is part of our charge under the statute. So it would definitely be a process where there's going to have to be citizen involvement of some sort. In fact, you know, any sort of discussion of the plan is going to require citizen input, and it's not, you know, the 5 or 7 people sitting at a table, but it will require input. And again, you know, we'll get an opinion on that, and, you know, I see the point with respect to, you know, how members of the public can be appointed, but then any committee that we would host, I would encourage this board to always make sure that we're soliciting public feedback and input, because again, it's not my business improvement district or our business improvement, it's everyone's. And so we definitely need that sort of community support and buy-in so that we can make sure that this is a productive district.
Do we have to open this back up to have these discussions?
I don't think so. We're just responding
Okay,
to
I'm
the
just
discussion.
asking. Yeah, I'm just curious.
Same if we walked outside and said the same thing. But thank you again, everyone, for being here.